Welcome to Theorists Theorizing, Episode 1. The fake ass moon. Wait, no. Can't say that, can we?
No. That's not the intro.
We said nothing about.
We gotta keep it cool.
Keep it cool.
Yeah.
Keep it above board. Can't say the C word, the V word,
The other C word.
the other C words.
N word.
Definitely. The R word's back, I think.
Yeah,
I
no,
think you're allowed the
yeah,
R
yeah,
word
yeah.
again.
I can't not use the R word.
No,
Yeah.
we're talking moon landing.
Well, before we start, obviously this is a relaunch of. If you're familiar on these voices, we have 500 episodes of Alien Theorists Theorizing. We had a whole debacle with a major Spotify deal, and ever since, we feel like we've been 10 steps behind every month. So we've decided to try a relaunch, a new show, same, but different.
Yeah. I like it.
Pretty much this format will be a little different. And episodes like this, it will be topic, go through the theories, yell at each other, hammer out all the points. And then in the part 2 of the episode, we're going to be doing more of a discussion with a phone line. Got a phone line hooked up here. So after the main show is going to run about an hour, we're going to have another, 20 to 40 minutes, depending if we get any calls. Calling in with your theories of this week is going to be moon landing theories. If you think it's a hoax, not, whatever.
Or you can let us know what you thought on our points in the show. If you agreed with anyone, disagreed with anyone, let us know. We want to know.
Yeah, so we got the same host if you're familiar with the show. I'm Zell.
I'm Braden.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
And we're all paid by the government to bring you these theories well above board, not mentioning anything
Controversial.
No, fuck that. We're going in. If we get canceled again, like no big deal. Who gives a shit? I guess at this point.
Dan, why don't you take it away?
Okay. Since you guys already mentioned it, we're looking back on one of arguably humanity's greatest achievement of going to the moon.
Or conning everyone
Right.
into thinking we went to the
No, no one has the greatest feat of human engineering ever taken place. The Apollo program and the 6 moon landings.
Yep.
And one, Tom Hanks got stranded.
69 and 72. You could say Apollo 11, the very first one, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to set foot on another world. Collected 47 pounds of rock and soil, left behind the first laser reflector, which will probably come up in discussion later, still used today to measure the Earth and moon distance. Then you had Apollo 12 following, which was later that same year. Astronauts landed and they walked around distance of the unmanned Surveyor 3 probe, and then they proving pinpoint lunar navigation was possible. Right? They had the concept and they executed it. They retrieved pieces of that probe and brought them home to study, along with another 75 pounds of lunar material.
Fake rock.
Fake rock. Apollo 14, 1971, Alan Shepard, who was America's first astronaut, returned to space on the moon. He swung his makeshift golf club, which is also a famous piece of footage. Fake golf club, I guess we want to say that.
No, it was a real golf club. It was just
fake core samples and revealed
it was
the
just
moon's
filmed
fake
on-
geological history.
It was just
Apollo
filmed at
15
Universal
the same
Studios,
year,
buddy.
We witnessed the first fake lunar rover, and fake astronauts drove more than fake 17 miles across the fake rugged terrain, gathering over a fake 170 pounds of samples, including the fake Genesis rock, a window into the moon's fake ancient crust. Apollo 16.
This is amazing. We don't even have anything to disagree about.
Dan's finally came around.
Yeah.
God damn.
All right, we're done. We'll wrap it up.
Perfect.
All right, good job. You guys want to sign off, or we're good?
No, Dan, keep going with the moon landings.
So Apollo 16, 1972, mission explored the lunar highlands. You had a deploying of a number of experiments that studied the moon's magnetic field and actually captured a number of images, which reshaped our entire understanding of the lunar geology. Apollo 17, the final voyage, also 1972, carried scientist astronaut Harrison Schmitt, was the only trained geologist, or fake geologist, I guess, to walk on the moon. That mission actually set records. You had 3 days on the lunar surface, 22 hours of moonwalks, and 75 hours of experiments, and 243 pounds of samples returned.
Wait, so you're telling me there was more
They
than just
can't carry
one
a
moon?
color fucking camera?
Yeah, that's what
It's too
I was just
heavy.
thinking that. Dan, how many pounds of rocks did they bring back from the Apollo 11 mission?
248, you said?
No, it was less than that. It was like 70 something.
Yeah,
It was
it was,
original.
47 pounds.
47 pounds. So one of the things that Andrew and I had taught, we were just briefly mentioned in passing, is like we're talking about the footage of the Apollo 11.
Okay, let's set the stage of why there's all these conspiracies, right? So Dan just said greatest feat of human engineering, but why do people think, like, how did this come up? Because we have the Cold War. Russia is leaps and bounds ahead of the United States. They got the first man in moon, first fucking dog in moon, first female in moon, first monkey or not.
Basically, the first everything
in
to do
orbit.
with-
All these things in the first to orbit, the first satellite, Sputnik. You could hear that like ominous beeping sound. The whole world heard it. They thought they're going to put nukes on the moon, and thus began the space race, which Dan just said. Somehow, the big thing is somehow America just rocketed, for lack of a better term, over the Soviet Union in a matter of just a few years, and went and just annihilated them in the
on their
space race.
first try.
Fuck yeah. Well, I think the theories start to come up. Well, it depends what kind of theory, because different theories of people believing the moon landing's fake kind of pop up at different times, in the last, since then. So, like, if we're looking at the main ones, like, for example, the Kubrick, right? Kubrick filmed the moon landings, and a lot of people point to the use of the NASA
Danny Sweater.
Zeiss planar lens that then Kubrick used to film Barry Lyndon. And people are like, how did Kubrick get that lens? Right? So a lot of people point to that, but that comes from, I think, like mid 2000s, there was a fake documentary that came out about the moon landing being fake. And a lot of people actually took footage from that documentary, and that what kind of led to that theory. I went down a huge fucking rabbit hole in that, because I was hell bent. I was like, how do you get that NASA lens, baby?
But then what about all the like hints and shit like that he alluded to in his movies, like The Shining?
Well, dude,
and
so
all the weird.
He filmed Space Odyssey in 1968. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right before the first moon landing. So a lot of people point to that. Like, if you look at the level of technological advances he did in that film to make it look like real space flight, and like, dude, it's a historic film. Like, if you haven't seen it, check it out.
But it looks nothing like the moon landing.
Looks nothing. But people point to his ability to make it look that real. That would,
if there was anyone who could do it,
time,
it would have been him.
Well, and like you look at all the footage too, like everything's perfectly framed. The fucking camera pans perfectly.
That's
right?
the next.
Like
that's the next
timed.
one. The next Apollo, but Apollo 11, still. But so then people point to Kubrick, where like Danny in The Shining's wearing an Apollo 11 shirt. There's a moonlander like in some of the shots. So people, and I mean, they're not wrong. Kubrick had a lot of.
No, your phone's vibrating.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
My people say like Kubrick had a lot of symbolism in his movies and stuff, so they point to that.
And then when the room 237, right? Because the moon is about 237,000 miles
that's
away.
closer to 239, I believe, though. So that one's
the carpet patterns on the hotel in The Shining, that looks like the NASA symbol and all that type of shit. Like,
yeah, they think he was hiding it in plain sight. And
yeah,
like, the smoking gun for a lot of people is that NASA planar lens that he got to shoot Barry Lyndon. He wanted to. He says he wanted those lenses to shoot. They're basically like some of the most expensive lenses ever developed for low light, and he shot them so he could do candlelit scenes in Barry Lyndon. Dude, I went down that rabbit hole because I was like, God damn, that's the smoking gun.
That's the gun.
That's the gun right there. And it turns out Carl Zeiss, he made fucking 9 of those lenses. 6 he sold to NASA. 3 he sold to Kubrick. And then in secret, he made another lens to control them all. A master lens.
In secret, another was made.
He basically, like, Kubrick just heard, because he's in film, he heard that this guy had developed these lenses.
You want the best.
And Carl Zeiss was like, hey, I have 4. I'll sell you 3, but I'm keeping one. He's like, deal, done. So it's like, when you kind of go down that, you're like, fuck, God damn, it doesn't really fucking line up.
NASA had some, but
there's no evidence that NASA even really used those lenses. And the other thing, like, a more interesting point now for me is because Andrew brought up, he's like, why the fuck would they shoot in black and white? And if you look at NASA's like
excuse,
their excuse, they're like, hey, you know, like, one, we had the data was too much to send color back, so we had to use black and white. The other thing is every pound had to be accounted for. So like we couldn't send up like
color camera.
And I'm like, well, how about bring 46 pounds of rocks back?
Okay, but
Like,
did NASA say, because I mean, this would have been right at the start of color TV, wouldn't it?
16. No, they had.
I don't think it would have been the color.
Dan, look it up. When was the start of like wide-ranging color television?
They had color then.
They absolutely did.
I'm sure they had it, but was it every TV box had color, or did they produce it for the masses because everyone had a black and white TV still?
Comparable color camera.
I thought it was
compared to the NASA camera, and it was comparable in weight to like the same pound, like ounces heavier.
Like, I'm pretty sure they were doing fucking color TV in like the 40s and 50s.
They shot other. They tried to do
54 was the first mass-produced color TV set.
Yeah, so I don't know which Apollo mission they did bring colored cameras, and they burnt one out trying to film the sun. You know, like
the reason I asked about because just like indoor plumbing, the first indoor plumbing was, you know, took forever for everyone to get indoor plumbing. So if there's color TV, but most people still had a black and white one, you'd probably want to project the moon landing in black and white.
But wouldn't they still see it in black and white? It wouldn't matter.
It's also way easier to fucking hide shit.
Absolutely. Said by 1960s, most networks in the U.S. were broadcasting in color, at least a regular program.
Yeah, so instead we opt for black and white camera to broadcast, and then we decide to give you all the news sources a fourth generation copy of everything. Like, didn't they film it from a fucking screen that was being played at NASA?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Like, that's kind of bizarre.
When I re-looked into this, I was like, oh, that's fucking a weird one.
Well, it technically wasn't just at NASA. It was actually in 3 locations around the world, because as the world spun while they're doing the mission, they needed different locations to project. But anyways, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. So you're saying
we're just going to the moon. Let's just fucking we'll just we'll improvise. Like it's like
we'll figure it out.
No, it'll be fine. Yeah, we're just launching people to the moon.
Well, so we started right with the cameras, right? So cameras, this always links up with, why is there no stars in all the photos, blah, blah, blah. And these are some of the easier ones, I think, that to debunk, you're like, well, you couldn't see the stars if the surface is bright. It's in the daytime. You can't see stars if where you are is brighter than the star. So that one, to me, never made sense.
Oh, yeah. I never even thought of it, because it's not like they're landing on the dark side of the moon.
So even without atmospheric interference, you still wouldn't see stars?
You don't see it. Well, I would
take the photos, like it would be too dark or like too bright. The light reflecting off the surface of the moon, which is just like gray-white, and then getting
which
a photo.
Which is insane, because
there would be enough light by the stars to like pick up.
Why would NASA even want low light cameras? Because you would think that they would have to have something, because like the reflection, it would be.
Well, did they want low light? I knew
that's what Carl Zeiss made for them.
But you're not sure if they actually used the lenses.
There's no evidence they used the lenses.
Exactly, but I know they definitely
able to see all the film props hidden in the fucking rocks.
Well, they would have definitely had to use super fast shutter speed for that, because it would have been so bright. So to get those pictures, like a nice clear picture like that, you would have had to have the fastest shutter speed you could have
at the time.
Right? So I mean, that's where that one goes for me. I'm like, all right, well, that one doesn't make, even the astronauts, believe them or not, they said, I don't remember seeing stars. So they're on.
Yeah, they were all on the same page there.
Yeah, they were briefed.
They were all fucking.
They were briefed.
Right, you guys seen no stars at all. Right, so some of the other easy ones, if you did go to the moon, right? They planted a flag that seemed to wave, but no atmosphere, no wind, and it waved for a while. So people were like,
even
impossible.
After. Well, but nobody was like, when they first planted it, somebody touched it, it would wave. But the fact that it was still waving after no one was around it or touched it, just fucking bizarre.
Yeah, but if there's no gravity or no wind resistance,
wouldn't it just
there's nothing to stop it? If it's on,
there's nothing, so it would just keep going, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was on.
So it's still waving.
No, I mean, it would eventually stop. There is a little gravity on the.
It's 1/6 Earth's gravity.
Would it eventually hang? Like it's just.
No, it had a metal rod. Isn't that right, Dan?
Yeah, they designed specially for that picture, pretty much. So they knew that when they put it up, there's no wind, so it's not going to unfold. So it's just because
I was like, if it went down, I was like, let's get the boys back up there right now. Fucking unfold that American flag.
Get them back up there.
Spread it back out.
We can't do it though. We don't have the technology to get there anymore. We developed proper technology 50 years ago, but we can't get there now.
We're gonna get there. We're going to get there.
You know, it's even weirder than that. No other country has that technology either and can't get there.
Well, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Don't you worry. We're going to go back.
Let's go back.
They keep saying we're going back with the Artemis mission. But
well, we already put out today.
Every president. How many presidents in a row have been like, we're going back to the moon?
The acting NASA chief already said gave out like the mandate that U.S. is going to build a nuclear reactor on the moon, and they need to do it.
Oh yeah, USA. Yeah, but like
how they're gonna do that, I don't know. Like,
Trump said they were going to the moon.
Power, baby. That's how.
Trump said they're going to the moon in 24. Fucking Obama said they're going to the moon. Both Bushes said they're going to the moon. Like.
Yeah,
I've heard it.
Clinton's the only one that's like, fuck the moon. Yeah, we never went.
Genuinely, he's really the only one now. I don't even care how many bodies he's got now. Yeah. I fucking like the guy now. I'm on board with him.
Because he said the moon landing's fake.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm on board with it being fake.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going down the list because these are some of the easier ones. No crater left. Well, primarily on Apollo 11. They say just where they landed was pretty rocky, and engine was shut off about 10 feet above. There's no atmosphere, so not all the thrust goes directly down. It kind of goes down and outwards.
Isn't that also why they picked that like location, because it was rocky and
100%
relatively solid? Because all that silicate, like that was one of the things that they're worried about, because like that Earth, like the moon is mostly dust, but that dust is like razor sharp. Like if that stuff got stuck in the equipment or stuff, they were like, that's something
we're going to pick the only place we can't have any evidence of us actually landing. Like that was strategic.
Well, I mean, there was evidence. There was
like
except the footprints. They're like, oh, we can leave footprints. So there's enough dust for.
Here, I'll give you a theory. And so if you're going to make a high impact with the public, like a high impact story, the way that they landed the first craft. Like if you can listen to the radio communications, and he's taking so long to land, they're worried that they're not going to get back off the moon because he can't find a good spot. And then in just the nick of time, with just enough fuel left, he puts it down.
Almost theatrical a bit there.
The Eagle has landed, and he's like they had just enough fuel to get back off, because if they would have went another like few hundred meters, they would have not quite have had enough, and they might have got stuck on the moon.
How insane is it? It was their first try.
Because it was
nailed
it on the first fucking try.
The first words when he walked in the words should have been fucking nailed it. That's what he should have said.
I should have wrote down, but because at the time it was Lyndon Johnson at the time, right?
LBJ, baby.
And then the story like that impact story goes even farther, that he even had a speech written to give the American people in this sense that they didn't get off the moon, but they did it for the good of America or something like that. There's like an epic speech. They had it all planned out, and just the way like it came out in the media, you're like, what a great script. It's so
perfect,
well done.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Speechwriters are a different caliber back then.
Yeah, man. They could take note. Yeah.
Well, they just went next door at Universal Studios. It was like, hey, can you guys write something up for us too?
Yeah. They're like, Kubrick, what do you got? What do you think of this? How do you think? Do you think they should leave?
Tell us about the Spielberg guy.
You think they should? Yeah. You think they should be left on the moon, or we should get them back?
What writes better?
What sounds better?
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about Stanley Kubrick's conspiracy. I mean, there was at a time where Kubrick actually said that there's an interview with him, and he said that was fake
confession.
But it turns out,
then they shot him with a heart attack gun.
No, there was
Kubrick died because Eyes Wide Shut was supposed to be about the fucking pedo ring.
It was.
And then they were like, yeah, that's legit.
Get rid of him.
And then they're like, hey, you can't, the studio's like, we can't release that edit. Yeah. And he's like, fuck you, I'm releasing the edit. Then he dies and they re-edit the film.
Yeah. How much, there's like fucking an hour missing or something crazy?
That's crazy. That's a good, that's when we
I got into that one.
All right, that's different, but yeah, we get into that one another time. But I don't know, did anyone hear that?
It's fake.
It's fake.
It's fake. That's from a
but it lit
Listen,
the
we're
world
coming
on
up
fire.
here with genuine fucking rebuttals here. Don't bring that fake shit around here, Zell.
Yeah.
All right, stop trying to discredit the movement,
but
brother.
that was part of what set the internet, before, like pre-internet, set the world on fire about this fake thing, because there was all these theories about Kubrick, and then it was broadcast that this was real.
The Kubrick stuff is weak, in my opinion.
It is
When you, honestly, it's good.
It's
conversation
fun, but it's
piece
weak.
until you look into it, and then it falls apart so quickly. That like a lot of this stuff does, but I've never believed we went to the moon less than I do now.
Absolutely. 99.
He's
99.9.
He's 99.9. He's a scientist. He knows everything about the moon.
Yeah.
No, hey, listen, I'm entitled to a personal opinion. I'm not saying.
No. And I don't disagree in the sense that at this time in America, there's a lot of shady shit.
Buddy, this was literally the highest point of distrust with the American government at this point in time. With the CIA, you got all the you got Kennedy gets assassinated. You got fucking Gulf of Tonkin. You got Vietnam, basically like the fall of Saigon, losing Vietnam. You've got the government admitting to fucking MK Ultra in 75. You've got all this crazy shit, and then you finally have something good. Finally have a fucking win for the boys. We got something good. We are the greatest country in the world. This is the greatest accomplishment of humankind. Of course, nobody wants to fucking disprove that. But when you stop and you think about it, I'm like, these people are willing to admit that they were using mind control and fucking brothels and killing their own citizens in false fags in the Gulf of Tonkin. All this type of shit. It's like, what the fuck?
Add an L in that there, buddy.
Listen, what else would you be fucking capable of? And then you think about it, it's like, this part of the government itself is ran by fucking Nazis.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? So you're going to go, like, I'm supposed to fucking believe that they did this? That we had better technology in 1969?
The Germans did.
Apparently. Than we do now? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Name a time where, name any technology in 1969 that is not better now.
Just the family.
That's not cheaper, easier, fucking, like, honestly, name any technology that hasn't got better in 50 years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't make it. And then, but then also think about it. It's like, oh, well, we already accomplished it. We've already been to the moon. What about every other fucking country that has a technology to get
their words for it? They're
name
like,
another country that has a budget as big as the U.S. does.
China.
China.
Not even.
China's got a fucking
close.
bigger one.
Not even close.
Their
They
space
can
budget.
fucking put their money into
military
it. Russia.
research, military research.
How about Russia that beat the U.S. to fucking every other facet before this?
Yeah, putting people into space
fucking
is easy. Putting people into orbit is easy. Like it's compared to going to the moon.
Yeah, it's easy because it's all anyone's ever done.
That's the best way that thing.
Well, I mean, to your point of name a technology that's not better. I mean, yeah, every technology, even rockets today, are technically better.
Everything's better.
It wasn't.
Like, it just doesn't make any fucking
wasn't the most
sense.
powerful rocket like the Saturn V?
Well, the Saturn V was the most powerful rocket.
Yeah,
until,
that's because they were using 91 octane back then.
No, isn't
baby.
isn't the SLS launch vehicle that's supposed to take Artemis and stuff is more powerful, but it just sucks.
I'm saying the Saturn V was the most powerful rocket. So I mean, to Andrew's point, it's like rockets were better, or more.
It was
powerful,
more powerful. Doesn't mean the technology's better.
It just was
okay. But
it was
then
just
what
big.
metric are you saying better then? Like,
I mean,
what measures better?
More
Are you
efficient?
more efficient.
It's
More
crazy
efficient?
that we haven't improved in that it
just doesn't make sense.
You would think that it's easier for us. Listen, I mean, other minus than going to the Titanic, it's easier to do anything on Earth now than it's ever been. So you think that would also extrapolate to those kind of things? Like, it should be easier at this point
We
to
all
go to
carry-
the orbit, which it is. It is. We're sending fucking Katy Perry to space.
Dude.
You know what I mean? It should be getting easier.
No, Kato, you want to talk about a conspiracy? Katy Perry didn't go anywhere.
But it's just like, you think about it, it's like we all hold things in our pockets that have more technology than NASA did at that.
I mean, technology in the
that's
sense
fucking
of
nuts.
digital, like
digital
microchip
technology, but not like that's a whole different. Yeah, like putting people propulsion and all that stuff. That's a
we
whole different thing.
annihilated 2 cities with a bomb 80 years ago.
Allegedly.
but look at our nuclear capabilities and stuff like that. That's all fucking different now too. That's all evolved massively.
It hasn't though, because they kind of shut it all down.
Yeah, but we have better capabilities of doing that now.
Anyways, let's there's going to be more in the second part of the show. We can get more into it, but yes, I mean, you could say that no other country has been to the moon, but you'd be incorrect, as no other country has sent people to the moon.
Well, sorry, has any other country left like Earth's
That's
orbit?
because the Van Allen belt is a fucking problem. That's why.
Okay, we're gonna get there after, but I want to say that let's see here. India sent a probe, China sent a probe. All have pictures.
Unmanned. Everything's unmanned.
Yeah, but if you have to, so then you have to consider the conspiracy is international in scope because they sent back pictures of the sites of the everything that was there.
Oh, they're all in on.
So that's what I mean. So then the conspiracy is
Why
even
give out
bigger.
the blackmail
than before.
that you know?
Then it's even bigger. Then the conspiracy is not just because you can the way to talk about these giant conspiracies, because usually someone slips up. But like, what was the atomic bomb?
What do you mean?
That project?
Manhattan Project?
Yeah.
That was like 150,000 people or something. All compartmentalized. No one really knew what they were doing until they finally made it public later on.
Yeah, you're telling me that we can't even keep the Colonel's KFC recipe secret, but 400,000 people can keep the moon landing secret?
Oh, but it like Sal said, it was compartmentalized.
That's what I mean. So, but this one is 4 times bigger. So there was like 400,000 people working on it, all compartmentalized, people making all the shielding. There's all this stuff. So it's not necessarily that the program was fake, but no,
we didn't actually get to the moon.
The best of the best conspiracy theorists, let's call them, agree that there was a rocket, a program. They shot something in the atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
But someone had to have faked it somehow. But you've both even said it tonight that you're not convinced it was Kubrick. So therefore, who faked it?
Well,
because they had, if it was all fake,
they would have to get a guy.
They would have to get someone better than Kubrick, because actually the moon landing looks more sci-fi. Because just the way it was shot and how it looks.
I mean,
nothing's ever
very
been
well
done.
Been Kubrick, but at the same time, like this is
I'm
CIA,
just saying
man.
It's not just Kubrick theories don't pan out.
And it's not just Kubrick. It's not. I could say like he could take it to the grave, but you got all these fucking carny gaffs who are working on as like riggers and because like a project that big.
I worked on the moon landing.
Hey, listen, dude. Who are we to say that we already know that they are deep in the midst of fucking MK Ultra? How do we know that they didn't control these guys' fucking minds?
Right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right. That's better.
They got all these guys fucking dosed up on LSD. They don't know. They think they're on the moon. 100%.
So these guys are all fucking dosed up.
They got Buzz Aldrin in the fucking capsule. Ah! Right? He went nowhere, baby. He was in quarantine. Dude, he was coming down from the fucking LSD.
You know,
they high dosed him.
Of all the moon landing conspiracies I've read, I've never heard that one come up.
I pulled it out of my ass.
That's
the
great,
best.
Dude.
Yeah.
They are experiencing so much with LSD. They're like, listen, this is, you know what this is? What's that fucking guy that's doing this shit now? What's his name? The comedian from Vancouver.
Doing what from now?
He puts the elaborate sets together. He's on HBO. Nathan.
Nathan for you.
Nathan for you.
Oh, Nathan Fielder.
Nathan Fielder. Yeah, this is.
He's so fucking funny.
He got this from NASA.
He's from Vancouver.
Oh, dude. Actually,
no way. He's the man.
See, that's the best theory. So now you have this fucking.
Hey,
dosed up.
Hey, dickheads, disprove that.
Dosed up.
They build.
All right, so you're saying, wait. All right, let's take it one farther.
Let's break it down. So they build an elaborate fucking set, right, including missions and stuff.
A gigantic soundstage, a giant warehouse,
whatever, and they're like, we're gonna convince these 4 motherfuckers that they go to the moon. Right? They dose them.
Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Yeah. Those protein pills are fucking LSD, man.
And they fucking send him on this trip, right? They fake it all, and then they put him in quarantine for 2 weeks as they come down, and then they're like, "Yeah, you were at the moon, right? Yeah. Head to the presser.
You come out, everybody's fucking you
did it. You're like, coming out of a trip, fucking 5-day fucking LSD trip.
The dose was so strong, and that's why they look all strung out at the news conference. That's like this.
What it is.
Dude, that makes so sense because if anyone's ever done hallucinogenics, when you come down, you're just like.
Takes a while to come back.
Probably shouldn't have done that. Probably shouldn't have done all those drugs. I feel terrible.
You know what? Okay, as far as faking it, that's the best theory I've heard because, I mean, you would have to. And somehow you would have to get all these people dosed up and then also be extremely creative and not make any mistakes.
I like that because then it's like the guy, there's a couple people behind this. They're like, it's not a lie if they believe.
Absolutely.
Right? No one will remember us, but they will continue it. That's great. I fucking love that. That's my leading theory.
Because, I mean, that was one thing for me. I'm like, all right, if there's been no one come forward saying they filmed it and no one really believes it was Kubrick, fucking who did it?
Well, that Bart Sabrell guy, he's got a few fucking...
That was mine, though.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's got a few deathbed confessions to fucking...
Of who?
100%. It's fucking concrete.
Heard it from a friend of a friend.
Yeah, that's crazy.
As he died.
I genuinely believe that they have people out there like that to discredit the movement.
Oh, 100%.
He looks like, I'm telling you, honestly, like you listen to that guy talk, I'm like, oh, fuck.
What's the next one we're hitting, Zell?
Well, I mean, those are like the main ones, like the main conspiracy ones are that the next big one is the video coming from. So NASA comes out, they got these cameras, they got to send video back from.
This is crazy.
So
this is genuinely fucking weird. I'm excited to hear the excuse for this.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Because this is fucked.
Yeah, I'm ready. I can't wait for you guys to fucking pull something out of your ass to fucking. You guys getting paid by NASA?
Yeah, I'm 100%. I wish I was. Okay, so
well, yeah, you fucking go talk to Uncle Von Braun there, Zell. Hey, what does he got to tell you?
Oh, actually, that brings me back to another point about the great story. Is that it started off in the Navy building these rockets and stuff.
Yeah,
because Von Braun was there, and they're like, he's a Nazi. We're not going to let him in. And he's like, I can build a better rocket. And then all these rockets were failing, and they're finally like, all right, let the Nazi have a crack at it. And then he guy just builds a fucking Saturn V rocket.
Why else would they fucking they take him in Project Paperclip or Operation Paperclip other than to build rockets? That's why they brought him, isn't it?
Yeah.
They brought him for most of their tech because they were. I mean, they knew
they
knew
were
their
worried
propulsion.
the Soviets. They were worried the Soviets were going to take.
Yeah, and they knew their propulsion technology was on next level because they had already captured like facilities in Germany and Europe, and they'd been like, this is a beautiful
facility where the guys hung all the slowest workers. Let's bring them to America and maybe he can get us to the moon.
Well, I mean, in America's defense, if they didn't get them.
The Soviets
were going to get them.
And the Soviets did get some of them. And
What
you guys talked about was Operation Osaviking?
Yeah.
They got a number of them, yeah.
The Soviets were kicked in Von Braun's door, and they're like, fucking damn it!
So, I mean, that's the reason that the Soviets were so far ahead, because they used the Nazis right away.
Yeah.
They got right into them.
So why did the Nazis get to the moon?
They're like, do you want your...
The Nazis were destroyed.
Gulag.
Yeah. The Nazis didn't have... They didn't have time.
Hey, if you would have given the Nazis another 10 years, they probably would have got to the moon.
Probably.
They've also taken over the whole world. If you let them, if they got the bomb first, it was over, right? That's what they say. Let's go first.
They had the Galaka, though.
Okay, they did have the time machine. That'll be. We'll come back to that one. Okay,
we're still waiting to feel the ramifications.
Let's get to this one.
We're just lucky they didn't find Milner.
There's two more big ones. Then we're gonna fucking wrap it up and try and cap it here. But the Van Allen radiation belts.
Oh yeah,
that's the biggest one.
A double toroidal donut-shaped energy field that surrounds Earth that is from our magnetic sphere, traps solar wind and solar winds and high velocity particles, and it has it's got a bunch of radiation up there. And so they say, I mean, if you went up there if you just put your body up there, you'd be dead in an hour. Say you had all the breathing apparatus and you can survive in space, you'd be dead depending where you are, because they do greatly vary in intensity. Yeah. So one of the big theories is, well, you can't get through Van Allen radiation belts, therefore we never went to the moon.
Well, I mean, you're kind of fucking underplaying a little bit, because even Van Allen himself, he's like, the chances of me discovering this are 0. He's like, the Soviets obviously discovered this, and they just didn't release the data that they had known about it. I believe they didn't release the data to know about it because they're like, fuck them, let these guys fry a couple astronauts. Let them fucking fry some astronauts. We're not going to tell them that we know about this.
Well, when they first actually discovered them, they thought like an atomic bomb went off in the fucking atmosphere, because they had a pretty high concentration of particles. But what I found is that this concentration of particles is more or less, it's like neutrons that get trapped and they break apart into electrons and protons, highly charged. They are ionizing radiation, and they could definitely kill you if you were exposed to these things. However, protons and this stuff, it's not like gamma radiation or X-rays.
It's turn you into the Hulk?
No. It's not going to turn you into the Hulk.
No cosmic powers.
So it doesn't
even Fantastic Four either.
Yeah.
No. Like it doesn't. That type of radiation doesn't.
You're more likely to turn into the Toxic Avenger than Johnny Storm.
So NASA
is the Toxic Avenger.
NASA's defense of the radiation belts back then, they've seemingly forgot about it in modern times, I guess, but. Back then, they're like, oh, we've had the right telemetry and the right trajectory through these radiation belts.
They navigated the radiation.
And they're only going to be exposed for a maximum of 3 hours. And if they went the right way through the belt, it was going to be low radiation, and the shielding, which is really only like 8 millimeters of aluminum, and then...
tinfoil, basically.
8 millimeters of aluminum?
No.
Yeah.
The outer realm was 8 millimeters. I'll actually have a video of it, actually.
Yeah.
Let's put it on. So the actual building of the space capsule is insane.
And then I model everything out.
So this is a guy just talking about the radiation.
Would be exposed to a whopping 26,000 rads per hour. And yes, that would be fatal inside an hour, but that is unshielded, no spacesuit, so they're going to die even faster just due to asphyxiation. So if you add a few meters of aluminium to represent
he meant millimeters.
Spacecraft,
And he meant
then the
aluminum.
dose drops significantly. Lots of the exposure actually comes from low energy protons that are really easy to stop. For the Apollo program, the natural shielding of the walls of the spacecraft were calculated to be roughly equivalent to about 7 millimeters of aluminium.
Aluminum.
And I know this because for Lunar Orbiter 1, they carried a radiation sensor to the lunar orbit, and it had two windows on it. One was 7 millimeters thick to represent what the astronauts would feel inside a spacecraft, and the other was 1 millimeter to measure the ethereal orbit with no radiation.
Yeah, that's it. So pretty much this guy goes through all the data of what type of now we have way better idea of what's actually the radiation is. And he says pretty much what the radiation that astronauts would have experienced, just hey, don't hate the messenger. He says that it'd be no more than a CAT scan.
I'm just saying it's suspect to me that you have the Soviets do everything they did, and again, all the data come out of their tight-lipped. Right, it's a space race, right? And they obviously found out about the Van Allen radiation belt, and then, in my opinion, obviously because something bad happened.
Yeah,
even Van Allen himself was like, "There's no way they didn't know about this. They just never released the data, so I'm credited." And there's no way I made the discovery. He says this himself.
Well,
right?
And I should try and find it, but like you listen to a NASA presentation not that long ago discussing the Van Allen radiation belts and being like, we have to figure out a way to navigate this safely before we even try it.
Yeah, and then that guy in the end, that was actually taken out of context if you watch the whole video.
Oh, was it?
But so obviously there's this field of very high radiation. But it's not like if you have the Earth and it's not equal. The entire thing is not just like a whole.
I mean, the argument though is that the data we get comes from NASA and Van Allen, and then the argument to that is
some rando on YouTube.
And then people will be like, "Well, Van Allen discovered it prior to NASA. Like he discovered it in what
59 or something."
Yeah, 50. No, is it? I think.
Well, they
right before the
went to the
formation of NASA. Is it 67 or something? He discovered.
I think they was discovered
58
earlier. Yeah.
But he was worried. Like he primarily, like I went down the rabbit hole of like, well, who's funding him? Fucking NASA.
Of course, the NASA's
fucking
funding
NASA. Him. Or no, sorry, the Navy. The Navy was funding him, and the Navy was also funding the fucking Nazi scientists.
And the Navy's the government,
right?
Oh, no, we can't trust them.
And so it's like all the data that we're getting is biased, and like the argument for me is, I'm like, well. If there is a space race and this is fake, and you're saying we did, you would say that we have this information. You're like, yeah, we found a way to fucking voo the fucking radiation, and we'll never tell you how we did it. We snaked right through, no big deal.
Well, that's it.
Couple fucking wraps of aluminum foil, and we were good.
Well, the wraps of aluminum foil was the outer shielding. That the whole wall was like a foot thick.
But the other problem is, going back to like, we rely so much on digital. This was all analog stuff. Like now, like I think that's more of a problem now because digital stuff is more acceptable to be fucking fucked with by this. Susceptible? What did I say? I make up words, Dan. Doesn't make
sense. You didn't make up words. You just mixed up words.
Never correct me. I was a goddamn English teacher.
I don't know. Come over here and do something about it.
I was a goddamn English teacher. Okay, a professor. I was an English professor, Dan. You know this. Mm-hmm. You saw it. You're a witness. You're one of the few witnesses I have.
Pretty sure you took a bottle of piss to the face when you were an English teacher too.
It may or may not be true.
But, so anyways, it's really, I mean, there's radiation. They say they got through it. They say they have all this data. Suspicious. No doubt that the actual telemetry data that actually got them through there is lost.
Yeah. I mean, that's fucking crazy. They're just like, oh, we fucking erased the whiteboards.
the greatest feat of human engineering ever done, but the worst
You didn't frame it?
the worst record keeping and preservation of video you've ever seen.
It's insane. I mean, to me, that has to be studied where they're like, well, we had to reuse the tapes. You're like, you're the biggest budget of all time.
Well, and let's
And
get
you had
in,
to reuse fucking VHS tapes? What the fuck are we doing here?
get into that video that Zell wants to talk about as well, because that's fucking...
Okay, so the final, we'll call this the final one we're going to talk about is, so they go, let's just say, they get up there, you got Buzz Aldrin, Neil Young.
Neil Young.
Just
Searching for the moon in space.
I want to live
On the moon.
So they get up there.
Been an astronaut.
They get up there. They land on the moon. They have these remote cameras which can show them going down the ladder. All this other stuff. It's all good. These have a radio frequency back to Earth where you would think. I mean, I thought that they just got that feed and then just like all the rest of you just get it and then it goes out to your network, and that's just how it was. That's what I thought too. Turns out the actual feed they got wasn't compatible with broadcast standards, so they had to project it onto a screen and then video it. All the networks had to video the screen.
It's crazy.
And that's why the feed quality between like the still pictures you get, like you can see the still pictures from the moon, and the actual video from the network feed is absolutely god awful. No comparison. Because what you should have got was a nice continuous, more or less crisp feed, maybe going in and out of focus here and there, whatever. So that's like the biggest one is like they actually didn't broadcast the signal. They
filmed a screen.
They filmed the screen. So I was like, oh, that's fucking crazy. So I had to go digging. What I found is actually it was not just one location. There was 3 locations that got the feed around the world. You had Honeysuckle Creek, which is near Canberra, Australia. You had Parkes Observatory, also in Australia, New South Wales, and Goldstone.
Well, first of all, Australia doesn't even exist. So I don't know.
I mean, there's a whole other conspiracy there. So all of these are part of NASA's Deep Space Network, and they all had the equipment to record the incoming data, blah, 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 to large magnetic tape. That tape came in as, the raw telemetry came in as SSTV, so slow scan TV. This is what was coming directly from the moon. This was recorded on 1 or 2 inch magnetic data tapes, right? So that was the full quality one, but that was not compatible with broadcast TV. So they had to convert the broadcast TV signal. And this was preserved in NASA's Central Archives, blah, blah, blah. So that's the holy grail of the news or of this moon landing would have been these SSTV tapes, 1 or 2 inch tape, which would put the whole thing to rest.
Yeah.
Like this is
where are they?
This
Direct
is the
feed.
This is the direct feed, but they think somewhere in the 70s, because there was like a tape shortage.
Yeah.
Which there actually was a tape shortage. It was really expensive.
And
so let's tape over
the Cosby
with
show.
somebody's wedding.
We gotta get the Cosby show.
Let's tape over the humanity's greatest accomplishment ever.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not a big deal.
They're like, hey, well,
who's gonna miss this?
Yeah.
That's not a big deal.
We gotta make sure we catch the
We're
local
gonna go.
news.
We've already been to the moon 6 times. We're gonna go again. It's not a big deal.
So
tape over it.
The thing about the moon landing, the Apollo 11 was like at the time, I think even per capita is still the most watched TV thing of all time. It was like 500 million people worldwide watched.
After that,
It's almost like you
ratings
couldn't have
plummeted.
it. It's almost like you couldn't have it fail.
But was it they ended up the last one they played it during they interrupted like Three's Company or something like that, and people were pissed. Or I Dream of Jeannie.
Or I Love Lucy or something.
It was I Dream of Jeannie, I'm pretty sure, and people almost rioted.
So the thing was,
we're fucking sick of this shit.
So yeah,
Fuck the
We
moon.
get it already. We rule.
And then that's when they were like, we're never going back.
yeah. So that was the thing. Like, so after the first one, everyone's like, "Sweet, that was fucking awesome." And then Apollo 12, was like half as well rated. Apollo 13 failed.
You know what would have been their
Tom Hanks had to make an air filter out of a fucking cardboard tube in a sock or something.
You know what would have been their new version of going to the moon like that, as if they would have beat us in hockey not too long ago. That would have been
yeah.
They would have been playing Freebird and fucking just getting jacked up.
No, they wouldn't because no one even watches hockey in the States.
They were watching that, boy. They were walking around with Kachuk jerseys, fucking just flipping birds and.
Yeah, sucks to suck.
So anyways, so every moon landing got worse and worse ratings to the point where it kind of just fell out of public favor. They brought back all these rocks. They're like, oh, we went to the moon.
What about the rock that fucking was it Buzz Aldrin or no? Was it Buzz Aldrin?
We were about to say Lance Armstrong.
No, Neil.
You were about to say
Armstrong
Lance Kincaid.
gave to the fucking prime minister of that European country that ended up being just wood.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy.
He just didn't have a real
He
rock.
gave a moon rock. He's like, this is from the moon, special. It's for you. But he ends up getting tested not too long, and it's like, it's wood.
How old was he when he gave that fucking rock?
I gotta look.
Was
I
he
gotta
old?
pull up the story.
old Buzzy,
It's crazy.
dude. Buzzy, hey, he's fucking wild. He's wild.
Anyways, so after the program ends, the moon landing, no one cares anymore. They got rocks. They put some sensors up there where you could measure the distance to the moon. Some scientific stuff, sure. The public completely fell out of it. Government fell out of it. There was no more money. The program pretty much just shut down. The rocket program shut down. That's where the rockets just went.
Well,
they went defunct.
They crushed the Soviet Union. There was no
There was reason, right? So
we crushed the Soviet Union. The states broke them.
They archived all these tapes.
Bent them over.
Okay, so a rock once displayed at the Netherlands, fucking not even going to try and say that museum name, as a moon rock was revealed in 2009 to actually be a piece of petrified wood. The moon rock was a private gift from the U.S. ambassador to former Dutch Prime Minister Willem Drees in 1969.
Also, that's fucking hilarious.
Shortly.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but the U.S. ambassador, you said Armstrong.
Yeah, it wasn't Armstrong.
That's what well, yeah.
That's hilarious, though. Dude, that's a funny joke. I'd be giving everyone moon rocks. If I went to the moon.
No, it says Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on this one now.
So what's the truth there? Does someone give someone like, this is a moon rock? He's like, sweet. He's like, this is a moon rock. And they're like, no, it's not. What the fuck are you talking about? Anyways, so let's just get to the tapes.
Well, it's all on fucking major.
Yeah, but which
NBR?
Yeah, but you told me two different ones now.
Yeah.
Well, I was reading the one from fucking AI.
I believe what he says.
You should believe what I say.
So they've got a piece of petrified wood from the moon
instead of a moon rock
from the moon.
That only tells me that there were trees on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you want to believe it at its core, the moon came from Earth. So really, there's no difference in those rocks.
Yeah.
At one time, two planets, I think they called the planet Theta or something, crashed into the Earth like 8 billion years ago. Where that great Pacific like divot is.
Yeah.
Super deep, there's no actual land there. It's just a huge divot full of water. And they think the moon spun out of that. And actually, because you can test the rocks, I think that when they tested the moon rocks and early Earth rocks, they're the same.
More space propaganda bullshit.
This guy doesn't want to he doesn't want to hear nothing.
Telling me it's not made of cheese. I fucking bet, buddy.
I don't even know where I was going. I just got a piece of wood.
Tell us where else. Tell us where fucking NASA wants us to hear.
This piece of wood's more important than the fucking everything around.
Yeah, because it's fucking crazy.
The tapes. You were on the tapes.
What about the tapes? The tapes are gone.
They disappeared. They got taped over.
Yeah, they got taped over.
They got taped over.
No, yeah. So after it.
If only we had those tapes, maybe we could go back. But
the tapes wouldn't teach you how to go back.
There may be something hidden in the tapes.
Pretty much. So during the tape shortage of the 70s, which
tape shortage.
No, there actually was
the reason why they taped over the fucking That's insane.
That's the craziest. They're like, of all the things of tapes that exist from the 70s.
Yeah, excuse me,
like,
NASA.
We couldn't keep the first moon landing.
All right, okay, well,
they couldn't make it.
It's insane.
Okay, well, let's think about it for a second.
Yeah,
you're working at NASA.
Yeah,
you're some pleb. You've been there a year.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, we need this new tape for this new thing. Go grab some tape. We're in a tape shortage. Just grab anything out of that thing. They're mislabeled. They're labeled poorly. He just grabs a fucking armful of tapes.
One of your fucking HR videos where you got...
Oh, moon landing 1?
Yeah. No. Who gives a fuck?
No,
world's greatest accomplishment?
Fuck it. You guys remember, VHS, right? You could only fit just under 2 hours on a VHS, right? So think about if you're recording.
That's why the Titanic was in 2
hours.
tapes. Boys.
You're thinking hours and hours and hours. You are taking boxes of tapes and you're just plugging them in and plugging them in and plugging them in.
So wouldn't there be
And
like
this
a
guy-
few of them still left? You think?
What you're saying is they didn't gold star a couple of them. They're like, hey, these ones.
These ones are a little important.
I'm not going to argue that they probably should have put them in an archive and just fucking. But that's the story. That's all I'm telling.
Yeah.
There's no way.
There's there's no way.
Ludicrous.
There's no way.
Maybe.
To me, I'm like, that's fucking.
That's insane.
So of all the stuff we talked about,
That's the
the
dumbest.
recording over the tapes is the least.
That's the crazy. It's humanity's greatest accomplishment. That is the craziest fucking
so
thing.
here it is. So this is it. We're gonna end with this. So you have a moon landing, or you have a moon program.
Supposed.
You have a program where they developed the suits and the rockets, and that's all real. That's real stuff. It's hard evidence in museums. The entire program, all the engineers, all the people who worked on it, they invented like Velcro and latex and like all these crazy compounds to be able to go to the moon.
Everyone knows Velcro's from aliens.
So they no doubt made all this stuff.
Yeah.
So they get to the rocket, they got the astronauts in there, it shoots into, they say, low Earth orbit, and somewhere in low Earth orbit, they film a perfect take in one take, broadcast it through this TV, no mistakes. And
I can't.
Think about
Strebel, or is it Strabel? Bart Strebel?
The guy who Cybel or whatever.
Yeah, his smoking gun, the halfway to the moon tapes where they pretend like they're actually there.
Well,
but
so-
they're
well, so that's-
halfway. But
so that's the archive tapes. So those weren't live, right?
Yeah.
So those are actually archive tapes, and
Yeah.
they had those still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they kept those.
Yeah.
So and
you
they're-
don't want to tape over those ones.
You don't
Those
wanna
are
tape
just
over those
tests.
ones.
Those are important.
But you think if you're trying to hide the moon landing, you would just got rid of those.
Well, you think you could have just taped over them maybe instead of taping over the fucking important
Actual
ones.
moon landing. It is that like that to me is I'm like
That's crazy.
Well, the thing about the archive tapes is they had about 1,000 times more archive
And
tapes
you just
than
picked
actual.
the wrong ones?
I get it
Because they're only on the.
it's government funded, so you probably have some fucking
Well, they're on the moon for how
nerd.
long? 20 minutes of spacewalk or something crazy?
Was there anything covering the Doppler shift and the radio signals? Did we talk about that?
No, but that sounds right up my alley. Talk about it, Dan.
So when the Apollo spacecraft were going towards the moon, they were constantly transmitting radio signals back to Earth and precise frequencies. And as if you observe those frequencies, the spacecraft accelerated towards the moon. The signal frequency increased slightly, and as it slowed, moved away, the signal dropped. So this Doppler shift is pretty much like when you look at it, and people who are experienced with this stuff, like it's exactly what you would expect from an object that was traveling hundreds of thousands of miles
away from
through
you.
space. Now, anybody can track that, and people, the Soviet Union, the UK, and even amateur radio operators who were listening, you could listen to those transmissions. Like if you had a handheld radio set, like you could track those, and they were able to track that. Like you could take from that, and they were able to
The distance, right?
track
You could
those
measure the
You
distance
could
through
track
the
those
Doppler
shifts
shifts.
in real
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that you're like, you can't really like fake it.
Well, the Doppler effect is like the easiest way to describe it is like when you're sitting on a road or standing on a sidewalk or something, and you see a car come from your left.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that time the sound takes to get to you is like the Doppler effect, and you can do it in frequency of sound, or you can do it in frequency of color, like a blue to red shift.
So
or whatever,
in your description, does a Tesla need a person in there to have that same effect?
What are you talking about?
Well, if the Tesla goes by with no one, and then I produce you a film of me being like, "Woo, look at me!"
But if
driving
I'm
the Tesla,
yeah, but if I'm watching the Tesla go past me,
but if there's no one in there,
so you're saying that they just sent no one to space? What are you talking about?
Well,
would
that's
say
what we
that-
do now.
I would say that to me
We send people into Earth's
is like,
orbit. We don't.
in order to like, if you're saying that this is fucking fake,
we know that they can send unmanned probes to.
you
the fucking Earth.
you send everything. Like if this goes to like the theory of like this was done to try to bankrupt the Russians, the Soviet Union, just to basically ruin them in something they couldn't match the state's money. You would send a fucking unmanned thing. You
Where'd the
pre-production.
astronauts go then?
They were fucking.
They didn't even get in the rocket.
They were fucking high on LSD, fucking thinking they're
floating
the
in
rocket.
fucking
Well, okay, now
Studio 2.
even
Right?
even
And
the
then
greatest.
So the rockets go. So you have that all that effect happening, right? Everyone else can track the Doppler effect, radio frequencies,
while you're filming it on Earth.
but no one is in that original fucking Apollo 11 mission, right? Like,
So no one
one's-
watched any rockets. Anyone get on the rocket? No one got on the rocket.
They just like
No one got in the capsule.
it's
No one.
like the
No one-
fucking
wait.
Buddy,
Shut
it's
the
the
fuck
Grandpa
up.
Simpson. You walk in, walk out.
Shut the fuck up. No one watched these astronauts walk into the.
I'm
up,
saying we
up
watched
the ramp.
something. People watch something.
Are they robots?
No, what I'm
Are they
saying.
androids?
No, I'm saying is like that footage is broadcasted.
What about the hundreds of people that were working there on the day? They're all part of it.
They're all in on it.
They're all in on
They're
it.
dosed.
They're all on LSD.
Everybody's
baby.
on LSD.
Here it is. Because I mean, for me, I'm gonna end it here. For me, I think there is way more evidence that we went to the moon than we didn't go to the moon. I do agree that there's some shady stuff, which, in hindsight, you look back, like with today's technology, like that would never happen. If we could send a signal from the spaceship on the moon or the people on the moon, we could just
with today's
we could just
technology,
get
we
it
can't.
anywhere.
We apparently can't go.
Yeah.
No, but we could, if we got to the moon, we could just send a
We
signal.
can't.
And we could.
I will, and
We can't.
I will say, looking into it, as everyone knows me. I've always been a staunch non-believer of the moon landing. Looking into it, a lot of my
I
theories.
stick a hard staunch.
I took a hard staunch.
Brain's very staunch. I'll believe anything anybody tells me with a modicum of confidence.
Fully staunch.
Yeah. I've never believed, but as I looked into a lot of my favorite theories, I was like, okay, all right.
Not the greatest.
And I'll
were they?
say this, after looking into a lot of these, like my smoking guns, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I've never believed we went to the moon last. that I do today after looking into it. But, hey,
Well,
listen.
we don't have to ask Andrew. I don't think.
Fuck the moon.
Fuck the moon. Moon's 99.9%. I don't even think the moon's real. I don't think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The moon's a hologram.
Hey, I love it. Let's get unhinged in the after show, take some calls and stuff. But
Here's the thing: you have to ask me just as less as you have to ask Dan.
That's true.
Right?
We got
we're opinionated people.
we got the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
yeah,
We got the Dan saying
I wasn't even on the first time we talked about this. Genuinely.
we got
neither
Dan.
was I technically.
Dan was.
You were
or
on the
Braden,
moon.
Braden was.
I was on the moon.
Yeah.
I thought I landed on the moon the first time we ever talked about
I think
this.
Braden opened the episode of the original with "I'm fucking drunk."
That sounds about right. Perfect course.
Anyway, so Andrew 99.9%. We didn't go to the moon. Braden, what? 95, 90.
It's not that and again, I'll get more into it in
Let's do the Gimlin
post.
scale. We should do the Gimlin scale.
Yeah,
Be 0 Gimlins, meaning I don't believe at all.
Gimlin, Bob Gimlin.
Bob Gimlin, the famous Bigfoot.
Wait, I thought
video.
Gimlin, we totally believed him.
I
It wouldn't
do.
be Gimlin and then
Gimlin.
the fire in the sky guy.
Yeah.
No, so 5 Gimlins is fully believe,
Yeah.
and 0 Gimlins is you don't believe.
Yeah.
Well, on the
a
Gimlin
weird
scale,
On the Gimlin scale?
Gimlin scale, since I
It's a sliding
100%,
scale.
yeah, since I 100% believe Bob Gimlin, I've looked into those steely blue eyes. I would have to say I don't, and I'll get more into it in the post show. But we'll get into that. I don't believe the fucking official story. I don't.
All right. The last thing I'm going to end on here is I think there's a reason why the astronauts and stuff post moonwalks and all that were weird in those news conferences. I think that all this weird stuff happened. They deleted the moon footage and all this stuff because they didn't go to the moon, but because they seen something on the moon they weren't supposed to.
This fucking guy throwing a jab in at the buzzer.
Quick jab. So next time we talk,
Unbelievable.
Next
the
time
buzzer
we-
goes and he's throwing a late jab in.
next time we talk about the moon, we're going to talk about the structures found on the moon stated by Carl Wolf in front of Congress in the 2001 Disclosure Project.
We'll have to revisit.
Headed up by our good buddy Stephen Greer,
Friend of the show.
friend of the show.
Yeah. Friend of the new show, enemy of the old.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We're going to take some calls in after hours here. Or not after hours. What are we going to call it? We don't even know.
Post
show.
We're getting unhinged, baby.
Fan theories.
This is where you're going to really hear my thoughts.
I've been
here.
unhinged.
The second part of the show is we're going to get unhinged. I'll put the number up if you're watching the live stream. You can text. If you're in Canada, you can text or call regularly. If you're anywhere international, you got to go on WhatsApp. If you don't have WhatsApp and you call, I'll answer, but you're going to get charged a fortune. So that's up to you. Okay, we're going to be right back.
You can call. You can give them the number, don't you?
I don't have it. I can't remember it, so I have to put it up. I'll put it up on the stream when we come back. I'll be right back.